In this next example, we're again going to combine two patterns. And we're going to start off with an array of file paths. And we want to turn this into a list of file sizes containing the number of bytes in each file. And we do that in this method called getList of file sizes. So here we can see that we're looping through each one of our paths, and then we're using the .NET FileInfo class to discover the length of these files in bytes, and then we're going to add each one to the list that will return from this method. And if we run this, we can see the size in bytes of each file. And this simple demo is showing off two very common tasks that we use when we're dealing with collections. We often want to transform each object in an original collection into a different type of object. So in this case, each string file path turns into a long file size. And we also often want to create new lists out of the new objects. And once again, LINQ has some really helpful extension methods that will help simplify our code here. Do you know what they are? Well, the first one is the select method, which allows you to apply a transformation to each element in an IEnumerable sequence. So we can simply say paths.select and then pass in a lambda expression that can turn file paths into file lengths in bytes. Now, you might be thinking that this pattern is a little bit underwhelming. After all, I've just turned one line of regular code into one line of LINQ with a lambda expression. But transforming or mapping objects from one form into another turns out to be something that we need to do all the time with collections of objects, and often we need to do it multiple times in the course of iterating through a collection. And so although select might be a very simple extension method, it's actually a very powerful one. And hopefully you'll appreciate why when we get on to talking about pipelines in our next module. And what about putting these numbers into a list? Well, LINQ can help us out with that too. If we simply call the toList extension method, it will iterate through our sequence and create a list for us. And LINQ also has similar methods for when you want to create an array or a dictionary instead, with the toArray and toDictionary methods. And I've shown you here an example of using the toDictionary method. So in this example, in the select method, we're transforming each path into a FileInfo object, and then we say that we want a dictionary where the key is the file name and the value is the file length. And so when we run this, we can see that we get the following dictionary of file names to file sizes. So the toList, toArray and toDictionary methods give us a really nice compact syntax to store a transformed sequence in memory. And later on in this course, we'll be learning about when it's a good idea to do this and also when you should avoid using these methods. But let's move on now and look at another pattern.